My name is Carol Page, and today we're going to unravel the truth behind the Antikythera Mechanism. What are its origins and purpose? Who made it and why? Is it an alien device or an ancient mechanism of human technology? Before we start, I want to remind you to please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you'll be notified when we upload the next video. The ancient Greek civilization was a period of political, artistical, philosophical and scientific achievements. But a shipwreck dating from the second quarter of the 1st century BCE indicates that these people were even more advanced than we could possibly have imagined. The shipwreck was first discovered in 1900 by sponge divers just off the Greek island of Antikythera, which lies between the Peloponnese and Crete. It was reported to the authorities, and over the next couple of years an operation took place to salvage the wreck. It was believed to have been a Roman merchant vessel, around 40 metres in length. The location of the vessel suggests that it was on its way from one or more of the great ports of the Aegean, possibly Rhodes, where it would have been loaded, and was headed for the western Mediterranean, quite probably for Rome, with looted treasures to support a triumphal parade for Emperor Julius Caesar. The wreck was filled with some of the most prized works of art of its day. Divers discovered life-size bronze and marble antique statues a century or more old. They also uncovered fine glassware and other objects such as the usual collection of oil lamps and wine vessels, and more than 200 amphorae, some of them intact. But by far, the most interesting and intriguing find at the wreck site was a mechanical object housed in a wooden box about the size and shape of a shoebox. It began to disintegrate as soon as it was removed from the water, and was later separated into many fragments. Some of these fragments contain intricate gears and inscriptions. The significance of the Antikythera Mechanism, as it came to be known, was not recognised until decades after it was first brought to the surface. Other artefacts were considered of greater importance, so they were studied first, and the mysterious mechanical device was ignored until 1951. It took another 2 decades of studying the device before the first publication was made on the Antikythera Mechanism in 1974 by a physicist and historian, Derek de Solla Price. But Price died in 1983 without discovering how it worked. It was not until the 21st century that modern tools for scanning could penetrate the corrosion and reveal the interior workings of the machine. It appeared to be an ancient computer dating back to around 87 BCE. The Antikythera Mechanism is regarded by many as the world's oldest known analog computer. Further painstaking studies enabled scientists to reconstruct the device. It is thought that the Antikythera Mechanism, which was a marvel of engineering, was probably used to predict the positions of stars and served as a kind of calendar computer. It may also have been used for navigation purposes, although, perhaps surprisingly, many consider this unlikely, because the harsh conditions at sea would not have been compatible with the delicate structure of this machine. Possibly a more plausible theory as to its purpose was to teach astronomy. Jo Marchant is an award-winning science journalist and former editor at New Scientist and Nature. She wrote an in-depth article on the ancient machine in February 2015, which was published at Smithsonian.com. She wrote, "The Antikythera Mechanism was similar in size to a mantle clock, and bits of wood found on the fragments suggest it was housed in a wooden case. Like a clock, The case would have had a large circular face with rotating hands. There was a knob or handle on the side for winding the mechanism forward or backward. And as the knob turned, trains of interlocking gear wheels drove at least 7 hands at various speeds. Instead of hours and minutes, the hands displayed celestial time. 1 hand for the sun, 1 for the moon, and 1 for each of the 5 planets visible to the naked eye: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. A rotating black and silver ball showed the phase of the moon. Inscriptions explained which stars rose and set on any particular date. There were also 2 dials on the back of the case, each with a pin that followed its own spiral groove, like the needle on a record player. One of these dials was a calendar, the other showed the timing of lunar and solar eclipses. The Antikythera mechanism is insanely complex. No other machine comparable in complexity was built for more than 1,000 years. To use the machine, you would probably enter a date using the knob on the side, and when the gears stopped spinning, a wealth of information was displayed. The positions of the sun, moon, and stars, the lunar phase, the dates of future solar eclipses, the speed that the moon travelled through the sky, and even the dates of forthcoming Olympic Games. By turning the dial back 1 day every 4 years, the mechanism could even take account of leap years. This in itself is a marvel when we consider that the Julian calendar, which was the first calendar of the region to contain leap years, was not introduced until about 46 BC. How it was possible to integrate engineering so delicate and advanced for its era into the machine intrigues historians and scientists, and also specialists in fine watchmaking today. Matthias Boutet, Director of Research and Development at Hublot, decided to reproduce these delicate mechanisms within a modern watch. He approached this task with deep respect for the forefathers who had developed this machine. The original was about 20 centimetres high. Boutet was able to recreate it small enough to easily be worn on a wrist. He states that the antique device includes ingenious features not found in modern watchmaking. So who could have invented such a machine way back in the 1st century BCE? One theory is that it could have been Hipparchus, the inventor of trigonometry. Hipparchus was an ancient astronomer. He was born around 190 BCE, and he worked and taught primarily on the island of Rhodes. He was one of the first thinkers to speculate that the earth revolved around the sun. According to Cicero, the Roman philosopher who was writing in the 1st century BCE, Posidonius constructed a planetary model. Posidonius took over Hipparchus' school on Rhodes after his death. For these reasons, historians have often attributed the Antikythera mechanism to Hipparchus. Several historians mention the existence of similar machines. It is thought that the Greek inventor Archimedes constructed comparable devices, but the Antikythera mechanism is the only one to have been recovered. The machine perhaps also gives us a glimpse into how the ancient Greeks saw the world. They believed, much as modern scientists do today, that nature worked according to predefined rules, rather like a machine. The device, which today is housed at the National Archaeological Museum of Athens, has intrigued archaeologists, scientists, historians, and the general public for decades. The mathematics involved in producing such a work of engineering are thought to be far beyond the capabilities of the Greeks in the 1st century BCE. So how could such a delicate and complicated feat of engineering have been conceived, designed, and built? Experts have tried to offer various explanations, but they all seem to defy logic. The Antikythera Mechanism appears to have come out of nowhere in the evolutionary development of mechanical design and construction. Fringe writers such as Eric von Däniken claimed it came from an alien spaceship. Some would argue there is only one possible explanation. Beings with advanced knowledge of astronomical bodies, mathematics and precision engineering tools created the device or gave the knowledge for its creation to someone during the 1st century BCE. But the knowledge that was recorded wasn't passed down to anyone else. Of course, this is only one theory. Research continues, and maybe in time the deeper mysteries of this strange and intriguing machine will be uncovered, but for now at least they remain hidden. That's all for today. If you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you'll know when we upload the next one. Thank you for listening. I am Carol Page. See you next time.